Good morning, SKN. I'm Jamie Morris.
And I am Kortensia.
And I am your weather guy for today. So let's get the meteorology waves kicking, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be partly cloudy with a 60% or moderate chance of brief showers, or as we like to call them here, brief brilly. That's what it is. It's a high of 84 degrees and a low of 70 degrees Fahrenheit. There's also a lot of wind if you have not noticed. Yes, a lot of wind. So take extra care, bolt the furniture down if you have it down. If you don't have it down, but you have it, bolt it down. Yeah, it's going to be windy today.
Yeah, so the umbrellas definitely won't be needed because we will be flying like birds, right?
Forget the umbrella. I love your hairstyle today. It's different from yesterday. I love the one yesterday, but you're definitely prepared for the wind.
Yes, I am. I made sure I tame it so I won't fly away. Yep, indeed. So I see we have a lovely talking point this morning. So what are you grateful for today?
What am I grateful for this morning? I am grateful to be alive. That's what I'm grateful for.
My sentiments, exactly, because there are others that didn't make it to today. So we are definitely grateful to be alive.
Be alive, be in a place where there's a lot of peace.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can keep it that way.
Yeah. Hopefully we sure can. And now we begin with the latest in this morning's local news. This from the SKN Vibes. Developer of St. Kitts Mega One and Only Resort, Simon Lowe, is assuring the public that the project is expected to get on the way later this year and that it has not been gutted. That assurance surfaced as questions were repeatedly asked of Premier Mark Brantley about the state of the project at his most recent held press conference, where he could not definitively give an update. A contract was signed in January last year between the developer, Simon Lowe, and the Nevis Island administration for the project. which is expected to provide in excess of 300 jobs for people of St. Kitts and Nevis. But why has the sod not been turned? Where is the project? Those were the questions to which SKN Vibes News sought answers in an exclusive sit-down interview with Lowe, who explained that COVID-19 travel restriction and several of the mitigation measures implemented by the federal government, among others, were to be blamed for the delay. Lowe, who has connections with the Four Seasons Resort, revealed that the project was in the pipeline since 2008, but the financial crisis, which grappled the world, affected the plans back then. It was also affected by the foreclosure. The mega resort faced in 2010.
Interesting news, Kortensia.
So it's not gutted. It's going to move forward eventually, and at least 300 persons will have work in both islands.
Good.
So good stuff.
And that's something to be grateful for.
Yep.
All right, moving on. This other local story from the Said I Said newsroom. The St. Kitts Tourism Authority new CEO, Ellison Tommy Thompson, has had a busy few weeks in the position, having garnered significant media coverage in Canada following his appointment. Most notably, Thompson sat down with top travel agent outlet Canadian Travel Press for a 3-page feature story about his positivity surrounding Canada, stating, quote, "We have the team and the strategy in place to reignite this market," end quote. Thompson also recently appeared in key Canadian media outlets, including Travel Week, Travel Industry Today, PAX News, Open Jaw, Wheels Up Network, Travel Courier, and had a sit-down with top travel industry veteran and TV travel expert seen regularly on CTV News, Jim Briers for JimBriersTravel.com. Although Air Canada recently suspended its direct flight to St. Kitts, along with 13 other sun destinations for the remainder of the 2021-2022 season due to a Canadian government advisory against non-essential travel following the Omicron surge, that news has not slowed the efforts being made in the Canadian market to increase the visibility and stimulate continued demand for the destination. So, interesting news as well.
Yeah.
Travelers from Canada.
Don't travel unless it's a must.
Yeah, but we're still being sold as a destination, so that's a good point. Not to be grateful for.
Of course, we are spies. We continue now with our local story. Ministry of Agriculture provides platform for female food products to succeed. This from SKNIS. During the celebrations for International Women's Day 2022 earlier this week, the Ministry of Agriculture made a special effort to spotlight the contributions of women in St. Kitts and Nevis to the growth and development of the agricultural sector. During a special ceremony hosted on March 8, the ministry awarded a number of hardworking women for their contributions to the sector. Speaking during the ceremony, Director of the Department of Agriculture, Dr. Tracy Challenger, said that the role women play has influenced every facet of the socio-economic life within the Federation. Dr. Challenger further noted that she has personally witnessed the elevation of women to the highest levels within the Department of Agriculture. Over the years, she said, and I quote, "It is our collective effort that drives gender partiality and make International Women's Day impactful. This year's celebration has been dubbed Advancing Women in Agriculture, and Tuesday's ceremony is a testament that we are doing just that." I just want to point to a few examples in history. When I joined the Department of Agriculture in 1999, I was the only female that attended senior management meetings. Today, we have outnumbered the men. We now have 6 women and 5 males at such a high-level meeting. So the gender bias is really being broken. I gotta look at you.
I know you're looking at me all the time,
my
right?
coats, I gotta look at you.
It was a sly look. I don't know if you guys saw it, all right? She's like, definitely,
6 to 5.
I know what you're gonna do. I know, and yeah, I'm supporting you. Definitely supporting you. 6 to 5 is the ratio.
6 to 5. And with that, we ask you to stick and stay. You're watching Good Morning SKN. We will be back after this commercial break.
Consuming excess salt can lead to heart attack, high blood pressure, and even stroke, and other health-related conditions such as kidney disease.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
You're watching Good Morning SKN. We now move on to the latest in regional news. This from the Antigua Observer. The future of Citizenship by Investment Program, CIP, in the Caribbean is under threat, with the European Union set to issue what some may consider an untimely ultimatum. Last Wednesday, a vote was taken by the European Parliament to ask the European Commission, which can be likened to the Cabinet of Europe, to formulate a strategy asking countries that offer CIP to phase them out or face visa restrictions. President of wealth management firm Apex Capital Partners Corporation, Nui Katz, told Observer that while the decision is not yet official and may take a while, Caribbean countries must take it seriously. Apex Capital Partners works with clients who are seeking citizenship in the Caribbean through its offices in St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, and Dominica, as well as European countries. Katz, however, believes that it will take several years for any decision by the EU to revoke visa-free access from CIP countries to be implemented. Katz said, quote, "I believe it may be coming, but it isn't here yet. I think the CIP countries should gather around the stakeholders in the industry and start developing a strategy to try to work with the EU to fashion a response that will allow the CIP countries to maintain the programs," end quote. Interesting development, Kortensia.
Very interesting.
A lot of us are reliant on CIP for revenue, so we'd likely take a hit if any of these changes are implemented.
And harder to move about the world.
That's also true if we keep
visa
them.
for every place.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. We continue now with our international news. China battles multiple outbreaks driven by the stealth Omicron. This from the Associated Press. China banned most people from leaving a coronavirus hit northeastern province and mobilized military reservists Monday as the fast-spreading stealth Omicron variant fuels the country's biggest outbreak since the start of the pandemic 2 years ago. The National Health Commission reported 1,337 locally transmitted cases in the latest 24-hour period, including 895 in the industrial province of Jilin. A government notice said that police permission would be required for the people to leave the area or travel from one city to another. The hard-hit province sent 7,000 reservists to help with the response, from keeping order and registering people at testing centers to using drones to carry out aerial spraying and disinfection, state broadcaster CCTV reported. Hundreds of cases were reported in other provinces and cities along China's east coast and inland as well. Beijing, which has 6 new cases, and Shanghai with 41, locked down residential and office buildings where infected people had been found.
We're not out of the woods yet.
I know. We're just about to get excited that today might be the last for all of our islands not wearing a mask.
Yeah. Well,
Up comes a stealth, you see?
Yeah.
Hidden.
Well, what I hear is that because of China's zero tolerance policy, they're taking stringent measures, but it doesn't seem as if what we know about this so far is that it's not as severe either. So that's a silver lining in this.
I don't like the
dark cloud.
stealth. Anything that's stealth should be feared because it's sort of hidden.
Okay, now I know. Remind me not to go into stealth mode anytime during the show. All right, well, there you have it for the latest, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back in a moment with more Good Morning SKN. Stay tuned.
I wear a mask because I want to protect my child, but also I want to protect his classmates and his teachers.
I wear a mask because I care about the frontline workers who will have to work even harder if those around me get sick.
I wear a mask to protect my family. I wear a mask to protect you. I wear a mask because it is the right thing to do.
I wear a mask because I don't want to put any vulnerable individuals at risk, like my elderly loved ones.
I wear a mask because
we are all in this together.
Did you know that there are certain seasonings that contain more salt than you actually need? There are more natural, healthier ways to reduce the salt intake in your dishes by using natural things like onions, garlic, seasoned peppers, and even thyme and merengue powder.
I going out tonight. I got a hot date. He older than me, but I don't care. I like what he telling me. He say I look sweet and ting. What? You want me go home with him? Nice. Boy, I wonder if I'm ready for this. I notice he ain't got a condom, but I gonna go ahead, see? He might think me ain't like him or trust him. Plus, this my first time. Nothing gonna happen to me. Lord, how could I let this happen? I ain't ready for no child. Who can support me and my child? My man gone jail and mommy and daddy said they ain't gonna help. I all on my own. How could I be so careless? I wish I could go back to that now. But my education on hold. How could I let this happen? Don't let this happen to you. Contact the Department of Gender Affairs to find out about confidential offices and personnel available to answer questions about your sexuality or pre- or postnatal concerns.
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. The Ministry and Department of Sports held an impressive ceremony at the Jessups Community Center in Nevis on the evening of Wednesday, March 9th, 2022. At the ceremony, 6 Division women were honored for their exploits in sports. The honorees were Jeanette Grell-Hall in netball, Veronica Branty in basketball administration, Tanika Liebert in athletics, Sonaldo Willett in cricket, Carisha Powell in football, and Judy Morton in cricket. We have a video clip of the ceremony, and we are going to take a look at it.
Everyone, a very, very pleasant good evening to all of you, and welcome to this evening's ceremony. The Women in Sports Award is an activity hosted by the Department of Sports that recognizes women and their contribution to sports development here on Nevis. The award takes into consideration several key elements, including but not limited to impact, achievements, longevity, trailblazing endeavors, and continued dedication to sports development, just to name a few. This is the department's second annual hosting of this event, which is celebrated during the month of March as part of the Women's Month celebrations. The nominees this year have over 200 years combined involvement in sports, covering all aspects, including playing, coaching, and the administering of various sporting disciplines. Why a Women in Sports Award, some may ask? The ministry understands the importance that events such as these have on the psyche of athletes and administrators alike. Athletes view awards as an incentive to put their all into each game, race, practice session, and administrators are encouraged to continue doing their best to ensure that their various sporting organizations thrive.
I believe that activities like these are important. Why? Because we need to put hardworking women and dedicated and committed women like yourselves in the spotlight. I believe that as a society, we do not honor people enough for the great work that they do. Unfortunately, we have become a society where we do better at criticizing and trying to pull down rather than to build up. And so activities like these are extremely important to put you in the spotlight, deservedly, because all of you have done an excellent job in the respective area that you will be awarded in tonight. And putting you in the spotlight also allows you to feel appreciated.
Our first awardee, yes, is Miss Janet Grell Hall, MH.
Jeanette Grell Hull's contribution to sports in Nevis is unequalled. Jeanette Grell Hull, MH. Jeanette Grell Hull was born in Nevis on April 17, 1946. She has been a role model to our youth, particularly young women, through her personal achievements despite the harsh disadvantages due to an early marriage and single motherhood. This experience, instead of retrogressing her, fortified her social commitment and service to the youths of Nevis by exposing them to sporting activities via the game of netball. She is the daughter of Mrs. Cicely Grell Hull and Mr. Ashton Hull and was educated at the Rawdon Lodge Private.
The next awardee is Miss Carisha Powell.
Leanne Carries once said, "Continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking your potential." This is a quote that Miss Carisha Powell continuously lives by. Carisha hails from Brownhill Village, where she was raised in a large, close-knit family who dominated in every sporting discipline. This exposure to sports helped to fuel her interest since she was a little girl. She participated in different sports, including football, track and field, cricket, and volleyball. Carisha's first love was football. She received inspiration from her 3 older brothers who would play football all day long. She was determined to learn a game that was, and still is, male-dominated. At the primary school level, Carisha became the first and only female captain of the Ivor Walters Primary School's football team. This motivated her, knowing that her teammates must trust her leadership skills. The team went on to win all 7 games played, conceding only 1 goal.
Thank you very much. Our next award.
Profile of Judy Daniel Morton. Judy Daniel Morton was born in Butler's Village, and even though she has since relocated due to marriage, she still considers herself a proud St. James's person. Her love for the game of cricket developed during the early 1990s when a certain Curtis Morton organised female cricket tournaments throughout Nevis, and huge crowds showed up to witness the matches. Judy represented Butler's team as a very quick fast bowler, and she is also a superb fielder and very quick in the outfield. The preferred number of her jersey has always been number 28. She was later selected to the Nevis female cricket team and has played in St. Kitts, Antigua, Grenada and Barbados, representing Nevis in regional tournaments. During one tournament played in Grenada, Nevis got off to a particularly poor start in the chase of Barbados total and were tottering when Judy came to the crease batting at number 6. She immediately went after the bowling, playing several superb cut shots and pulls to help her team over the line.
Thank you, Judy. Our next award.
Andy's profile. After closing my baking chapter for over a decade, baking at the prestigious Four Seasons Resort, I was offered the opportunity to join a hard-working and friendly staff at the Nevis Post Office. Whilst working there, I found my passion for the community work, where I often interacted with the youths and senior citizens in the different villages. During my tenure at the post office, I was introduced to the basketball sport by Mr. Eustace Nisbet, and this is where my love for the sport began. I formulated a team under the name of Ghetto Stars, and we entered the Brownhill Basketball League, where we were fortunate to capture the second place position. From then on, there was no stopping me as I organised basketball leagues in Gingerland, and I have been the member of the Nevis Amateur Basketball Association, NABBA, for many years. Currently, I hold the position of Vice President. In 2014, I was transferred to the Department of Community Development in the capacity of Centre Manager for the Pond Hill Community Centre, where I perform my duty with pride and professionalism.
Miss Soneldo Willett.
Soneldo Willett, born 10th of June 1994, is an American-born but resides in the Caribbean island of Nevis. Willett, who is an all-rounder, is presently the captain of the Nevis female cricket team and the vice-captain of the Leeward Islands female cricket team. She was also a part of the first ever Leeward Islands female cricket team in 2016. She is a middle-order right-hand batswoman and a right-arm medium-pace bowler. At the local level, her highest score to date is 76 runs not out versus her counterparts in St. Kitts, with her best bowling figures of 3 overs for 8 runs, 1 wicket. On the international scene, she has represented the Atlanta Pearls since 2019 in the annual Georgia Women Cricket Tournament. In 2021, she served as the vice-captain of the Atlanta Pearls female team. Her highest score to date is 88 runs with a strike rate of 147.6, which captured the eyes of the selectors of other teams in the USA, in which she was also invited to play. The selectors of the USA female cricket team lauded her in the recently ended tournament and looks forward to inviting her to their next training camp scheduled for 2022. Willett is also a Level 1 certified cricket coach by the West Indies Cricket Board. She excelled at track and field from primary to sixth form college. She would have represented Nevis at the CUT Games and Leeward Island athletic tournaments.
Thank you, Sonaldo. And our final awardee is Miss Tanika Liebert.
Tanika Liebert's sports profile. Through hard work, discipline, and a humble spirit, she started her athletic career at a young age. As a sprinter and jumper, she first scratched the surface of the talent during her years at the St. Thomas's Primary School and harnessed it as the Charlestown Primary School, gaining class champions and victrix laureum at school sports and the Interprimary Championship. However, it was during her high school years she developed a love for the long jump, which later became her specialty event. So much so that in 2000 she set a new school record for the Charlestown Secondary School Class 1 girls long jump with a distance of 5.77 metres, 18 feet 9 inches. The next phase of her journey began in 2004 when she obtained a full track and field scholarship to the University of Southern Mississippi. Her collegiate years proved to be the best time of growth and refinement as her personal best jump of 5.77 metres quickly turned into 6.2 meters at the 2004 Alabama Relays, where she captured the gold and earned the nickname T-Bird. In 2007, at the end of her collegiate career, she held the university school records in the indoor long jump, outdoor long jump, 100 meters.
Thank you very much, Minister and Assistant Secretary.
Salt is an important part of the human diet, but most of us consume more than we realize.
Hey, my friend, what going on?
Not a thing. I just here cooling under this tree, about to eat a mango or two.
Where you get mango from all now?
Boy, Auntie Rose bring me some mango this morning.
Oh, gosh. What you hit me for?
You give me something to put on?
Girl, you can't just come tempting me with these juicy round pally mangoes and expect me not to want some.
Just because something looks appealing and you want it, doesn't mean you are entitled to it and that you should touch or take it. Your mother ain't teach you manners. Ask for consent first before you touch up the mango them.
But why ask? And if it's dear, it's dear. Just take it. Why ask?
Simple. If it is mine and you ain't asked for it, it is called, wait for it, stealing.
That's true. My bad. Okay. May I please have some mangoes?
I don't know. After that spectacle, I ain't sure I want to give you any.
You see that? But I ask.
Just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give. It is still my mangoes.
So what you tell me ask for then?
Because consent is everything. Had you asked first, I would have been more inclined to give you one. And just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give you. You got it?
Okay, I got it. Now, may I please have some mangoes?
Only because you're my friend and I like you. But that still don't mean you're entitled to it.
Okay, I get it. I get it.
Good. Don't leave your mango skin on the ground, eh?
If you understand the importance of asking for someone's consent for a mango, then it shouldn't be too hard to understand consent when it comes to sex. The power of consent is everything. Ask first. If you or a friend has been sexually assaulted, please call 465-5000 for the Counseling Center.
This message was brought to you by No Judgment SKN and sponsored by the Basic Needs Trust Fund, the Department of Gender Affairs, and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Welcome back. You're watching Good Morning SKN. We just finished watching a video of the ceremony hosted by the Ministry of Department of Sports, which honored 6 division women for their contribution in sports. So, Jamie, what did you think about that video?
What did I think about that video? Lots of thoughts going through my head, of course. Before we even get into that, I think it's important to remind our viewers who these recipients are. So we have Jeanette Grell Hull in netball, Veronica Brandy in basketball administration, Tanika Liebert in athletics, Donaldo Willett in cricket, Carisha Powell in football, and Judy Morton in cricket. So as to my thoughts, we are talking about the range of sports being represented here, and I think that's great. I think that honoring women on any level is good, but when we talk about their participation in sports, it takes it up a notch for me, slightly. What are your thoughts?
I think that women have come a long way, and as we continue to fight, we have infiltrated certain sports that were not for women, namely cricket, because I don't remember there being a cricket squad back then. Well, netball is pure female. That's us. That's us. Basketball, yeah, we're still fighting for some sort of equality. Even in the WNBA, we're still fighting to get, I said we, because yes, I'm a woman. We're still fighting to get equal pay as the men, because I noticed Brittany, she makes more money in playing for Russia than she does playing in the WNBA, hence her presence in Russia.
I see.
Yeah. So that is good to see that in basketball and in cricket, there are representations in NEBIS and persons that were awarded.
Yes, and also the age ranges of these women as well, because we've got, younger ones represented, we've got more seasoned ones represented as well. So that's good. I really don't know what else to say here other than it's great. When you mentioned women infiltrating sports that were strategically, well, I don't want to say strategically, but historically, that's perhaps a better term. Male-dominated.
Male-dominated.
Then it says that women can do just about anything that men can do. And I feel like that's one of the undertones of a conversation that we've been having as we celebrate International Women's Day, as we move to empowering women. It's this sense of creating parity or balance and recognition that one is not should not be discriminated against based on one's gender, and that the abilities don't tend to be encompassed or wrapped up, as it were, in gender.
Yeah, we can do anything. We all can do it. So we just need to be viewed as equals and not as no, girls shouldn't play football, to dig up their knees and to fall down. Girls shouldn't play contact sports to get a busted lip. Yeah.
Is that your admission that things are changing? Because it sounds that way. Oh, she's not saying anything. You realize this though, guys. Are you realizing this? You all have to let us know what your thoughts are, how you feel about this, and not that it's a bad way to feel at all, because I think we all can celebrate the achievements of anyone in our society. But when we are highlighting, particularly in the month of women, recognizing them, highlighting the abilities of women in general, it's a good thing to do. So.
Yep. And know that women can do anything that men do, and probably even a little better. I'll say a little better because I still want to give you gentlemen the reins, but anything you can
women can do anything. Why? You see that right there for me? I might get into a little trouble. Don't use men as the standard, because whenever that is said, it seems like it's like, yeah, we can do anything a man can do, as if the men are the standard. I think that perpetuates that dialogue or that conversation.
But the man was the standard from beginning, hence whoa man. Whoa.
There's another reading of that, which is quite humorous. Yes. I won't mention.
So you see?
Yeah. I guess, but also I'm saying, if things are changing, then perhaps the way that we speak about our reference points ought to change as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that too.
That's something for you guys to let us know if you want to, right? Studio 3278.
We're working on gender equality, not us being too different or having a vast difference from each other. And as I would have mentioned before, if you make 5,000 in cricket, I should be able to make 5,000, because we're playing in the same heat, we're doing the same jobs, we're doing the overhand bowling, the underhand bowling, we're hurting our shoulders the same way, so I shouldn't have less money and you have more. Feel me? Yeah.
Valid points. Agreed. And we're also in agreement that we're going to take a break. A lot of agreement today. All right, so we'll be back in a moment. Stay tuned.
everyone is encouraged to adopt a healthy and positive approach to daily life. Here are a few friendly reminders.
When you go to the local market and food vendors, remember to maintain a social distance of 6 feet or 2 meters apart. And always wear your mask.
Always keep your hands clean. Wash your hands with soap and water or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer.
When dining, choose restaurants with staggered seating. This will lower the risk of transmission.
If you have a fever, cough, or other respiratory symptoms, please wear a mask and seek medical care immediately. Rest at home and do not visit the food vendors, local markets, or restaurants.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Children, how can you tell a tsunami coming?
Teacher me.
Sammy?
My mother said when uncle jump in the pool and the water spoosh out, that's how you tell a tsunami coming.
Settle down, children, settle down. Do you remember our tsunami song?
Yes.
Mommy, Uncle not here and the other shake.
Hush your mouth.
Daddy, Uncle not here and the sea gone.
Who cares? You don't see all them free fish? Quick, give me the bag.
This is how you tell a tsunami a come. Teacher says so. I would have failed in school, you know.
Sammy, come, let me go. They would have failed anyhow. Let me run, see Sammy.
Has anyone ever touched you here, here, or here? Well, these are actually bad touches, not good ones. And so, if anyone ever touches you in these areas or anywhere else that makes you uncomfortable, you must say no, then go and tell. Say it with me. Say no, then go and tell.
This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with Probation and Child Protection Services, the Ministry of Health, and the Pan American Health Organization.
I need some veggies for dinner. Let me just check the amount of sodium in this can. Oh no, this is too much. Let me try our next option. They did say it's healthy to consume less salt. This is much better. I am salt smart.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Inspiration is an unconscious burst of creativity that occurs after being mentally or emotionally stirred by something or someone. This is especially present in artistic endeavors, whether that is literally literary, musical, or visual art. Have you heard of Inspired Creations by Caroline? Well, if not, allow us to introduce you to this brand. It is where creativity, passion, and imagination meet to create exquisite, one-of-a-kind handmade jewelry pieces. Today for Good Morning SKN's Expressions, we warmly welcome Caroline Joseph, the owner of this brand, to learn about her source of inspiration. Good morning, Caroline, and welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Good morning, welcome.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good,
We're
good.
great.
Awesome.
So I noticed you're wearing one of your pieces.
I am.
Lovely, lovely.
It's local lava from our volcano, straight from Mother Earth.
Really?
Yep. Lava that's ended up in the ocean and been tumbled, just like sea glass, which is bottles that's ended up in the ocean, and just through the motion of the ocean, being tumbled and smoothed over time. So yes, this is our local lava.
And where did you get your inspiration from to start this jewelry line?
I always look for my inspiration in Mother Nature, so I can get my materials locally. My findings, obviously, earring hooks and so on, I order. But whatever I can, this is a big hunk of local lava. Wherever I can, I look to Mother Nature to provide and work with it and transform it. Call it recycling.
Call it recycling or upcycling.
Upcycling, exactly.
Wow. So your jewelry is handmade. Apart from, digging into Mother Earth for the inspiration, I imagine that your mind, bells must be going off in your mind when you think of what you're going to do next in terms of creating your pieces. What can you tell us about that process for you?
Well, I'll give you a story about one of my ranges, which is the palm husk. I'm sure you know about the husk of the palm tree. It's the fibrous material called core that runs through the leaves itself. It holds water, and I picked up a piece in Nevis a couple of years back on a hike and thought I must be able to do something with it, but researched it online, couldn't find anything that anybody was doing with it other than lining planters because it holds water or mulch. So I had it on my dining room table for almost a year. And did nothing with it because I couldn't find anything online, and kept looking at it and never did anything. And then woke up one morning and there was a bunch of ideas there. So I basically color it, use the sealants on it, cut it to shape, and add it with lava or crystals and things like that. And so that's my palm husk range. That's the story of how that one came about.
Lots of fascinating stories around the dinner table, I can imagine.
Yeah.
So what types of jewelry do you offer?
So I do the palm husk, as I just explained. I do the very same thing with the Norfolk pine, which is known as our Christmas tree. Yeah, it looks a bit like a Christmas tree. The story behind that is that up at Shadwell, I did a craft event at Shadwell. They lit it on the floor, and again, like the palm husk, I thought I could do something with this. It takes sometimes many attempts to go back to it to figure out how to make it work. But I do exactly the same thing with that as I do with the palm husk. Sea glass I've been collecting for many years and started wrapping it a few years back. Sea glass is any bottle, any glassware that's ended up in the ocean, and again, over time being tumbled. And it usually takes the sea about 10 years minimum to make it round and smooth with no sharp edges. And so that's the sea glass. Lava, I order lava for the earrings. For the pendants, I usually use the local lava because you can't usually get two pieces the same size, just like sea glass. So I usually have a lot of pendants and not a lot of earrings. And I also use the spines of the lionfish. That came about, somebody came to me who was working on a dive boat, a guy by the name of Mike, and he said, "Can you make lionfish earrings?" I says, "Well, I don't know what they look like." So bring me some of the spines, and again, I played with it. It's play. It's really just play. You take whatever you've got and you play with it and use your creativity and trial and error, and you figure out a way.
When you say spines, do you mean the stuff that's on the outside of the lionfish?
I use the hard spines, which are the poisonous ones, and I also use the soft spines.
Because I was thinking his spine inside.
No, the one on the outside. So the hard spine is the poisonous one. You don't want to come into contact with that in the water. The soft spine is more sort of frilly spine. So I use both of them. I dry them, cut them, seal them, and add crystals, lava, things like that to finish it off.
I have to ask, at any point in the process, did you ever think, you know what, this is, I know it's play for you now, but did you ever think, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, or maybe I would give up, or maybe this is taking a little too long and I need to abandon an idea if we're going back to it?
Well, jewelry I've been doing on and off for 30 years between work, but COVID changed the world, as we all know. And so basically, you know, when your job is there one day and it's gone the next, I was doing the jewelry part-time with my job and selling it. I used to run a shop out over on the peninsula and selling the jewelry there. But of course, COVID took that away. So then I started my class. That's where the class came from. In my home first, and then at Shipwreck Bar and Grill. So it's really become now where this is the direction I have to go in. I'm not hopefully going back to work for anybody. So no, I cannot give up, because this is the way I have to go.
Lovely. I would like to know more about your class, and maybe we'll get to that in the next segment. For now, we'll take a break and we'll be back with more Good Morning SKN in a moment. Stay tuned.
If you gradually use less salt, you will gradually want less salt. Eating less salty foods will reduce your cravings for salty foods. Let's get salt smart.
These teen boys nowadays get me so upset. I see these teen girls with their big bellies, and you want to tell me y'all couldn't protect her and yourself? Come on. Now don't tell me no stupidness about you feel embarrassed about getting a pack of condoms or asking somebody for one. That ain't nothing to be ashamed about. You should be proud that you are making a wise decision, but you still have to abstain from having sex with someone under the age of consent. If your boys are pressuring you to have sex and you don't want to, then don't. You are in charge of your life, not them. I heard another one saying it's sweeter without a condom. But my granny always told me, no glove, no love. So let me tell you something. It's sweeter to have money in your pockets and not have to support a child at that young age. Before I say anything else, the best way to prevent teenage pregnancy is to abstain. In other words, no do it. Let me talk to the big men troubling underage girls.
Why you sleeping with your daughter? You not live clean. Your girl at 16 and your daughter at 13. Two girl look me, but me know in that. Big man no deal with back pan back.
You understand where I'm coming from, right?
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Where are you going? I just mopped the floor and now the chair leaving marks all over the place. Come on, go in bed, see? Sometimes I just can't take you on.
Violence is expressed in many ways. Most, unfortunately, go unreported or unaddressed for many reasons. If you or someone disabled is being abused, contact the police at 465-2241, social services at 467-1314, or the St. Kitts Nevis Association of Disabled Persons at 465-2151, 663-9077, or 663-4116. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO.
各位朋友，大家好. Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
Thank you for sticking and staying with us. Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We are continuing our discussion with Caroline Joseph, the owner of Inspired Creations by Caroline. She is now going to tell us about her lovely jewelry pieces here on display.
Okay.
But she's talking about here, and she missed the
Yes. Your beautiful blue sea glass, which is actually a very rare color. Blue sea glass generally comes from all medicine bottles, and so blue is actually quite rare to find here. You will generally find clear, brown, and green because those are the color of our bottles. And I don't know if you guys know, we have a beach called Sea Glass Beach. The reason for it, it's in Limekeel, is because the brewery, when they had broken bottles, would dump bottles. So sea glass is actually junk coming out of the ocean that's been rounded up by the ocean and reformed into beautiful jewelry, as we can see with our beautiful hostess here.
All right, so what else can you tell us about what you have here?
So, the palm husk, this is the palm husk. It's the fibrous material that grows on the palm tree. I color it, use a sealant on it. I do the same with the Norfolk pine and transform them into the jewelry that's on the side there. I also use, like I said already, sea glass. I use the lava, which that's a big chunk of lava right there from our volcano. And yeah, it is. And straight from Mother Nature. You know, it's, I mean, as deep from Mother Nature as you can get, you know. I also use the spines of the lionfish, which are these ones. I cut them to size. I use the hard spine and the soft spine. Cut them to size, use a sealant on them, and mix them with either lava, plated lava, crystals, things like that.
So you crush the lava and then you...
No. I order the lava for these and use the lava that I get here for the pendants, because you can't usually get... You can't work with lava. You'd have to spend a lot of money on equipment to try and round lava. I've tried it, Dremel and it's very hard. So I order the lava for the earrings, and I use the lava I get here locally on the pendants.
So what is your most popular piece of jewelry, or pieces of jewelry, I should
To be
say?
honest, every style has its person. So you, for instance, there's persons more go for the sea glass, the you know, like students like the lionfish. It all varies, you know. It's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. You know, they all go well, which is why I have them all in my collection.
And where are these things available? Because some of them are absolutely gorgeous, and I'm sure viewers are wondering.
Thank you. Yes, I've had some guys saying they want to come by. So I used to have them in the museum. COVID, you know, changed a lot of things. I used to have them there. I used to sell them at Spice Mill Boutique, which closed down. I used to run that. So right now, I set up at Shipwreck a couple of times a week with my jewelry making class, and I have them alongside. I have them on Facebook. I usually post pictures on Facebook, Inspired Creations by Caroline. Instagram, inspired_creations_SKB. You can see pretty much all of the pictures of my designs there. I can meet you. I mean, I am looking for other venues, and as tourism opens up more and more, then obviously, you know, I'm looking to, you know, get back to where we were. So pretty much that's where you can get me at Shipwreck a couple of times a week. I post my schedule. It varies from week to week. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
So if I wanted a personalized piece, can I do that, or are all your stuff just ready-made to be sold?
You can. People challenge me all the time. They bring, you know, a shark tooth that they found. They bring pieces of their own sea glass. They bring, you know, like one lady gave me, I don't know what kind of stone it is, and wants it wrapped. So yeah, I do custom. I can do anything that you want. Just like in the class, you can actually make whatever you want. So if you have your own stuff, your own beads and things like that, sometimes people have a sentimental bracelet from a birthday and it's broken, but they want to fix it. You know, I can work with them on that. So.
And about this class, how often is it conducted? Where can people register? That sort of thing.
You inbox me, let me know. I let you know your schedule and you know my schedule. And when I'm going to be doing it next. And you know, we meet on the beach. I set up my jewelry, set up my class, and you know, we get creative, right? Overlooking the ocean. So that's at Shipwreck several times a week. It varies, so that's why you need to contact me and let me know when you're interested.
I feel like I'll be one with nature if I were to sign up for your class, because everything is so natural, including our surroundings right now.
True.
Indeed. I also noticed that when you're not at Shipwreck, I noticed you are at Patsy's, you're at the marina at Christoph Harbor, and so it's there's one place that I think I'm missing, but is there any other place? But then no, I understand what I'm missing now. You were with Miss Sue, our famed Miss Sue. You did a collaboration at Michael's.
The benefit, the turtle benefit. I did that also. I set up there. I'm also part of iFlamboyance.
Okay.
So anywhere that iFlamboyant does an event,
you'll be there.
you know, Patsy's. We've done Park Hyatt. We've done Marriott. So any craft event that's coming up, I try to be there because that's where I can launch a new line, or my customers can find me. But anything like that, I'm part of it generally. Yeah.
I love this. This is all so very lovely, and I
Thank
love
you.
the way that you have, again, found a way to recreate sea glass.
I know.
Absolutely.
Sea glass
and lionfish spines and the husk of the palm tree.
There are some gorgeous
and the
earrings over
Norfolk
here.
pine.
Awesome.
We used to use them to hit each other in school, stuff off the Christmas tree. Wow. She turned them into jewelry. So, Caroline, we want to say thank you for coming out and thank you for displaying your beautiful jewelry. Once again, as Caroline said, if you need to contact her, you can do so on Facebook, on Instagram. And could you remind them of your number just in case?
My Instagram is inspired_creations_SKB. Facebook is Inspired Creations by Caroline. And all my information is there. Inbox me, let me know. If you want to do a class, if you want a custom piece, if you're interested in, a particular piece, I'm right there. Yeah. And thank you guys for the opportunity to be on your wonderful show.
You are welcome.
And for wearing my beautiful piece and making it look so pretty.
Thank you. With that said, once again, thank you, Caroline.
Thank you, guys.
Stick and stay. We will be right back after this brief commercial break.
Self-health management refers to the measures people take to manage their own health. You and I should remember to wash hands often with soap and water, or use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Avoid touching your eyes, mouth, and nose. Take your temperature morning and evening. Watch for symptoms. Persons with diabetes or hypertension are reminded to take your medication regularly as prescribed. If you have no symptoms, you may carry out your normal routine and boost your immune system. When you are outside, avoid public spaces and wear a mask at all times. If you develop symptoms, put on a mask and seek medical care. Do not take public transportation. Inform the doctor of your travel history, any contact with confirmed or suspected cases, your occupation, and whether anyone around you has similar symptoms. If you become ill, please rest at home. Wear a mask and isolate yourself from others in your household. If you share a bathroom, disinfect daily using 1 part bleach to 10 parts water. Everyone must work together to reduce the spread of the coronavirus.
Do you know that common baked goods such as bread and crackers are high in salt? Get salt smart.
I'm here to say kids, Nevis, with a name from us I represent for the Ministry of Health. Yeah. Respect the COVID protocols. In a time like this, all for one for all. St. Kitts Nevis. Don't forget your mask. Wear it everywhere you go. Sanitize before and after everything you do. Cause you never know what's on the surface of the places you go. Maintain a safe social distance between me and you. Keep calm and stay focused. Don't be a fool, seek the facts first. And boost your immune system up. Don't wanna lose no more of us. Mass up furlough, sanitize, observe the protocols all about. Be wise, mass up furlough, sanitize, me family fitting boat.
Blessed love and greetings. This is Infamous, and I am here to encourage every Kititian and Nivision to remember that we have our part to play in the fight against COVID-19. So sanitize, wear your face mask, practice social distancing, and go and get vaccinated. For me no know about you, but me love think it's bad. Easy no man.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom. No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Good Morning SKN. It's time for us to loosen up. Okay, look at her, she's loosening already. In preparation for our next guest, we will be talking all about sports. We had this discussion off here a little bit, so this is interesting. I get to grill you on air now. Have you played any sports? And if so, which of them have you played?
Not professionally, not in school, but with my friends. So cricket.
Not in school?
Cricket with a piece of wood? No, I ran in school and I high jumped in school. That was it.
That's sports, yeah.
But cricket with a piece of wood, literally. Not a bat with no handle, no.
That's the fun part. That's the fun cricket part.
Yeah, so cricket with not a bat. And then we had table tennis that we used to play with the paddle, of course.
Okay, yeah.
And football.
Football.
So
without a foot? just like you play cricket
without football shoes. How about that?
Okay,
yeah.
Well.
Because, them times somebody thinking about spikes and all that thing, yeah.
Exactly.
But we played amongst ourselves, so I can't say I played in school or professionally.
Okay.
So, yeah, we played the local.
I don't think anybody can go through school without playing some sort of sports because we had physical education, so that was part of it. What did I play?
But that wasn't sports, that was just PE.
That was just
jumping
PE.
Jacks,
I've got former PE teachers who were looking and they're like, oh no, that wasn't just PE.
We never did anything.
Never did?
I wish they would have taken. No, and that's the thing. I never get to play netball. I never played volleyball. They never took me to play tennis.
You realize?
All they made me do was run up and down the field and do jumping jacks and stuff like that. Yeah.
You realize that our executive producer is listening, right? So you're probably giving her some ideas. Yeah, right now we're going to see you playing sports sooner or later.
Yeah, we can go outside and play tennis.
Well, I was just thinking that.
I can hit the tennis ball.
Can we go now?
Yeah.
Question, can we?
Says
no, they're like, no, we can't go now. All right, so yeah, I played basketball, actually. Basketball was my favorite one, and I think you've heard me say before that when I was in high school, we had, you know what 4G1 was looking like? Yeah. So 4G1 had this little This is Baxter High, by the way, for those of you who understand
Class at
what
the
it was
top.
like. Right. So we had this little cutout, call it that, extra piece at the back of the class, and we'd play hand tennis in the afternoons.
Yeah,
till
I remember that.
Waylon
Yeah,
Vaughn,
that was
our
a big
deputy
thing.
principal, would
Yeah.
come up and join us for a match or two. We were doing that. It was cool. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember
vibes.
that classroom. The one
You
at the
remember that
top.
classroom?
Yeah. Yeah, because people always flock in the door to see who's going to win. And as you said, sometimes Mr. Wong come up and join in.
Yeah, that was a fun part. That was a fun part. Which sport was most popular in your younger years? Well, yeah.
Basketball.
Basketball.
I was a Bulls fan. And then once Jordan left, I was nobody's
Oh, you're
fan.
aging yourself. Yeah,
Yeah.
you were a Bulls fan. I'm gonna age myself right along with you, not because we just had a birthday celebration. Thank you for that. Yes. So Utah Jazz, definitely. Malone.
Karl Malone.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
And John Stockton, by the way, who I thought was a very good shooter.
That was really, really taller than me. He came to St. Kitts. That time I was subbing at American Airlines.
Whoa.
And on television, he looked,
Uh-huh.
he was a giant.
Did you get an autograph?
No.
Did you take a picture?
Nah, I don't.
That was before selfies and cell phones?
Before cell phones,
Oh,
yeah.
imagine that. You realize how
Yeah.
dated you? I just dated her and she went right along with it. Yeah.
But he was, I guess he's not as tall as the other players when he's on court, but he's taller than the average person.
He's taller than the average person. You just reminded me of Yogi Bear. But anyway, you enjoy watching sports, obviously. I'm going to ask you this question based on our previous conversation. Who do you enjoy watching more, men or women, if you had to choose?
To be honest, I don't watch any sports now.
Uh-oh. No,
that's sad.
say it isn't so.
But if I were to be a feminist, I would say women. Because I used to enjoy the Lisa Leslie's
Yes,
and
naturally,
of those days.
naturally.
But because I'm an avid golfer, I had I don't golf, but I like to watch it. So I
Thanks for
have
the
to take
correction.
back that. Yeah, I would say the guys.
I was just getting ready to see you on the field, with the putt. That's another
Maybe
great
I can
idea.
do that,
That's
you
another great
know.
idea. Can we do a miniature golf thing and we see, hey, I'm putting it out
She'll
there.
win. I watched too many golf matches to not win.
The sad part is it's my idea, so now I have to go do practice. It's like homework. I just gave myself homework on live television. What did
Look
I
at
do?
that.
Oh man.
Hide and seek rounders. See, we played more. We didn't play no
Marbles.
game.
Marbles.
Pitch.
Come on. Yeah. Small, all those stuff. All those things. Yeah, definitely. That stuff was like the great part of sports. Is it sports though? Marbles?
You
Sports?
see?
Jury's out. What do you guys think? It's Studio 327 Egg. Do I get a pass for doing that? Because I was actually kind of good at it, right? Yeah, so
Maybe that could be a new Olympic sport, marbles.
I don't know. Hey. Well, if not, we'll have
How
the
about that?
GM SKN Olympics. When we get to flip the cameras, I've been begging for this. I want a day for this where we see our executive producer up here with you camera guys and sound guys playing sports, and I'll be on the camera doing what I don't know how to do. I'm kidding. About not knowing what to do. I can do that. So maybe sooner or later, right? Can we do that? Yeah. Let us know if you guys would like to see that at Studio 327 Inc. It'd be interesting to reverse roles and put you guys in our spot so people get to see you
In our
and
spot
what you do
and
as well.
on the spot.
Yeah. Oh, love it, Kortensia. Love it. All right. So, hey, with that, we are going to take another quick break, but we'll be back in a flash. Don't go anywhere.
Self-health management refers to the measures people take to manage their own health. You and I should remember to wash hands often with soap and water, or use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Avoid touching your eyes, mouth, and nose. Take your temperature morning and evening. Watch for symptoms. Persons with diabetes or hypertension are reminded to take your medication regularly as prescribed. If you have no symptoms, you may carry out your normal routine and boost your immune system. When you are outside, avoid public spaces and wear a mask at all times. If you develop symptoms, put on a mask and seek medical care. Do not take public transportation. Inform the doctor of your travel history, any contact with confirmed or suspected cases, your occupation, and whether anyone around you has similar symptoms. If you become ill, please rest at home. wear a mask, and isolate yourself from others in your household. If you share a bathroom, disinfect daily using 1 part bleach to 10 parts water. Everyone must work together to reduce the spread of the coronavirus.
You can lower your salt intake by reducing salty foods, removing table salt, and using salt alternatives when cooking.
Consuming foods like bananas, potatoes, and dried peas and beans such as lentils and kidney beans contains potassium, which helps to reduce salt in the body.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Sports. This is a major aspect of our life here in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. There are many reasons why people play sports. Some play for competition, to find a purpose in life, to release stress, or simply to improve their general health. Sports can also be a means of socialization and entertainment. The latter, sports, as a means of entertainment, is fully enjoyed here in the Federation. Unfortunately, over the past 2 years, the competitive and social aspect of sports was halted due to the social distancing protocols brought on by the pandemic. By now, as these restrictions have begun to relax, sporting activities are coming back. To give us an update on this, we warmly welcome the president of the SKN Athletics, Delwyn Delaney, to Good Morning SKN. Good morning, Delwyn, and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. So it's sports season. I see everybody excited. My coworker trying to get me to go to date-based sports. I'd be like, no, I know. So since February, sports has been returning. Tell us about it.
Yes, we have SKN Athletics has been engaging in a number of activities as to jumpstart sports again, as you would alluded to that. We have had a lull, a bit of a lull, and we found that persons are a bit lackadaisical to restart. And for obvious reasons, we are perhaps a time period within their lives where sports were dedicated to, they now had to fill that gap with something, right? And you see that person may have veered into other activities. But we want to steer them back where they belong, in track and field and sports in general. And as I said, we've been doing a number of initiatives to jumpstart sports on a whole. Presently, we have the character team that is in training, the character squad, I may say, that is in training in preparation for the character games over the Easter weekend. And so, as I said, we try to engage at the school level, at the club level, both here in St. Kitts and in Nevis, to ensure that, hey, we're ready. The world is not waiting for us. As you saw that we had the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games in 2021, and the results showed that, you know, there was no real drop-off in terms of performances. And so that indicates to us that persons are being training, persons are being gearing, and perhaps maybe the break was a time for persons to recuperate, to reevaluate, and give persons more preparation time to get back out there. So again, we are ready and gearing to go.
Well, that's good to know. And speaking of the activities that you have, tell us about the inter-school championship that's coming up soon.
Well, we have not set we have a tentative date for the inter-school, but we are cognizant of the fact that, you know, there's a lot of mechanisms that goes into the hosting of inter-school, and we are hinged by the local schools having their own preparation meets. We recognize that many of those schools are not hosting a full-blown track meet. So again, we have to, the dynamics are a bit stringent in terms of where do we go and what do we do. So fluid, so that we have to gear ourselves in terms of what next and that sort of thing. but we reckon that some schools are having sports days, especially at the primary school level, and we are prepared to engage them when that time comes, whether it be at the Rams Meet Championships at the primary school level, and if so be it at the inter-school level. But for now, we're just here to support. Our executive just recently approved a concession package for these schools in terms of reducing the cost of, they usually rent the shotguns and the shots to undertake their track meets, and we have reduced that cost significantly to encourage participation. We understand that as well, that this is an income generator for these schools, and in doing so, that means that their bottom line will look a lot better. So again, we're just here to facilitate. Where we can step in, we will. In terms of the officiating as well, we lend our support to the officials, to these track meets, by offering officials, whether here in St. Kitts and in Nevis, to ensure that the meets and the sports days are done in a professional manner.
I have to ask this. I read something along the lines that said the persons participating in sports, they have to be vaccinated. Is that true? Can you elaborate on that?
As of now, no, they don't have to be vaccinated. Beforehand, that was the thinking.
Okay.
And we understand as well, as it relates to the regional and international meets, those are not requirements moving forward. So we are excited about that. Where persons, for one reason or another, might be hesitant to take the vaccine, and we understand that fully. Okay. And we don't want that to be a bottleneck or a stifling point for these athletes who have tremendous potential. Yeah. So we are open to all. A matter of fact, we have spectators at our character trials, which is slated for the 20th, that's this Sunday, at the Kim Collins Stadium, and the admission is free. Again, we want to encourage persons to come back out. We're not saying that we're here. I mean, we do need funding, but more so than funding, we need persons to be fully engaged, both at the track and field level and, of course, at the supporting level as well.
All right, so Darwin, earlier this year it was announced that history was made and the Federation recorded the highest number of the collegiate athletes. Would you say that factors lined up to allow this to happen?
I've always been an advocate for, if you want to have persons, athletes rather, at that next level, there must be an avenue. After the high school level, there's a drop-off. How do we keep them engaged? Persons who stay at home, oftentimes they have to find a job, and juggling a job and track and field is very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. So an avenue presented itself where, persons can go off to obtain their higher education, and with the help of Fit Camp, which is run by Marcia Brown, which is our athletes rep, and Grammy Brown, wife and husband combination. They created avenues for persons to get out there to universities. Oftentimes as well, your times and your distance, your performances speaks for itself. So you'll find that persons now have the opportunity to reach abroad, as well as coaches now are looking at St. Kitts, saying, hey, let's see what's happening in St. Kitts. Another selling point is at the Character Games, where a lot of the U.S. collegiate coaches travel to the Character Games to scout out new athletes, new talent, and say, hey, we're offering this scholarship or that scholarship to get abroad. Oftentimes we hear about the success stories of Kim Collins, Virgil Hodge, who went to those top schools, Tianjo Pontines, Florida's, the TCUs, and the LSUs, and that sort of thing. But there are many, many schools out there, many at the junior level, the junior college level, at the Division I, Division II. I mean, the scope is wide, it's broad. So persons now are taking advantage of that, and we see persons here in St. Kitts already lined up already for the next break to head out again.
Oh, that's wonderful. So the factors definitely did align. I like the fact that you said that the scouts are coming here and looking at our athletes, and that's even better, more of a reason why we should be out there. We're going to take a very brief break, but we'll be back to talk with you more on the other side of it. Stay tuned.
You ever hear Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake, I come in Tuesday around 10. No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are in the exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that, because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors, in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, nobody run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
Most people consume excess salt from processed foods, such as snack foods, processed meats, instant meals, and condiments.
Instead, use fresh vegetables, ground provision, fresh meats, and natural herb seasonings, just like our grandparents did, and just like you did with this soup. We are Salt Smart.
I wear a mask because I want to protect my child, but also I want to protect his classmates and his teachers.
I wear a mask because I care about the frontline workers who will have to work even harder if those around me get sick.
I wear a mask to protect my family. I wear a mask to protect you. I wear a mask because it is the right thing to do.
I wear a mask because I don't want to put any vulnerable individuals at risk, like my elderly loved ones.
I wear a mask because
we are all in this together.
You're watching Good Morning SKN. We are speaking about the return of the Federation sports season with Delwayne Delaney, president of SKN Athletics. And when we were on break, we actually had an interesting discussion, which will now make its way onto the screen, prompted, of course, by Kortensia.
Yeah. I was wondering if we're going to have or athleticism and brain drain at the same time when the scouts come and take all of our athletes from St. Kitts and take them abroad.
Yes, it is a balancing act, to say the least, where we have athletes transferring from St. Kitts to study abroad and to pursue their athletic career. We understand as well, because of our small population, we don't have the competitiveness that you'll see abroad in the US or even Jamaica, where here on the local scene, you run against the same person basically every week. And oftentimes the results are predictable. Okay, he will come first, he will come second, you know. But competing on a wider scale, you get that more competitiveness as well. And the hope is that after, they would have completed their studies, they return home here and be successful, perhaps continue on their track and field career, or a professional. I was reminded by a professor. He said that he said 5% of us will be professional athletes, but 100% of us will be professionals. So that means that at the end, we still have to be professionals, whatever job we take up, whatever career path we choose, we have to be professionals. So we understand that perhaps our focus might need to shift a bit. And as we was discussing over the break, that countries now are sending their junior athletes to Jamaica. A matter of fact, we have a few St. Vincent athletes here that are training here because it's more competitive for them here in St. Kitts.
And they're doing their academia here as well?
They attend the Virtual High School. right? So you see that the paradigm shift in terms of no more I'm holding on to my athletes, but more so, okay, where are the better opportunities for them to excel? And so perhaps we as SKN Athletics need now to start to think outside the box. Okay, this is what is trending. Let's get on board. Perhaps not only at the collegiate level, but perhaps at the high school level, we need to see what avenues are there for these athletes.
That's very good to know. Yeah.
I like that. I like the balancing act. That it's a struggle, obviously, for somebody like you, but I appreciate what you said in terms of fancying them personally. So that's great. Let's get back to you now. We're going to focus on you for a little bit. We just came out of a lockdown. We just came out of the pandemic. You're an athlete.
Right.
We're talking athletics. What did you do when you couldn't do what you typically did to soothe yourself in terms of athletics during that break?
Well, I'm now retired, but but what we have seen that many persons would have tried to do stuff at home, try to maintain some level of fitness, some coordination. There are drills that persons can do at home with making sure their hands are correct, making sure their posture is correct. So we've seen persons and athletes advance that way. We have seen the emergence of social media as well. So we've seen what other persons have been doing in terms of the Johan Blakes and that sort of thing, and persons at least have tried to mimic those athletes. So, I mean, it was really rough in terms of how do you navigate during the pandemic. There were periods where we would have been allowed to prepare for international meets, where we would have written to the powers maybe to have our athletes prepare while lockdown is happening, that they are given a time window where they can do some sort of training, because I think we would have had about 2 meets during the height of the pandemic that we had to participate in. So there was some leeway we were thankful for, but nothing like being outside, like we like to say. And so now that we are outside, many of our athletes are now taking advantage of that. We've seen the heightened interest. I mean, the character squad is about 40 plus, Of course, that will dwindle by the time we choose an actual team to travel. But you see the interest. Persons are asking, how can I be a part, and what is happening, when is our next meet? Sponsors have come on board as well, wanting to be a part of that thing. And I must make mention of First Federal, because during the lockdown, during when nothing was happening, they continue to support as a corporate sponsor, continue to live up to their financial obligations, and have partnered with us consistently without wavering. So I want to say a big thank you to the folks there at First Federal. And we encourage other persons and other businesses and corporate sponsors to come on board, because this is the way to go. I mean, we can't do it by ourselves. Our main income generator would have been the Interschool and the Rams, and not having that for 2 consecutive seasons and still have to travel overseas is a real burden. So again, we welcome all the help we can.
So I want to know, what are the protocols for persons who may be interested in coaching?
So as it relates to coaching, of course anybody can be a coach, but we want to encourage persons when they are applying for coaching. We usually have courses. And there are levels from level 1 up to level 5 where you're an elite coach. And oftentimes we run the level 1 coaching course here. I think one is slated for later on this year, where we want to bring in new talent, motivated persons, especially at the high school level, where they have to deal with a lot of those potential athletes, and getting them prepared for the inter-school championships. You don't want them to just be willy-nilly in around, say, hey, you do this, and and then the athletes end up getting injured or doing more harm than good. So we want to encourage as much persons to get on board. We have a number of coaches on board, but a lot of them are very dormant. Okay. And we want to, for lack of a better term, we want new blood. We want persons who can go there and enthuse and say, motivate these athletes, hey, these are the opportunities that present themselves. if you stay diligent, if you work hard, you can be a part of that.
Well, it's been great talking with you this morning. In closing, we have roughly about 30 seconds left. Tall order for you, but I'm going to ask you anyway to look into that camera and remind the general public of the upcoming events that we have to look forward to.
Okay, so come on out this Sunday, 28th of March at 1:30 p.m. where we have the character trials. It's a free event. Come on out and support these athletes as they make their bid for 2022 Jamaica, the Character Games edition. Also, the following Friday, we have a twilight meet. This is something that is new and introduced where we don't usually have meets on a Friday, but it's an evening meet. Come on out, have some fun with the athletes and your family as well, and enjoy some track and field. So that's the next two meets will be the 20th and then again on the 25th all at the Kim Collins Stadium. So I hope to see you there. Thanks.
We've been speaking with Delwayne Delaney. Thank you so much for stopping by and motivating us to come on out. Kortensia, grab your sporting equipment, everybody.
Yeah, we are.
We will see you on the other side of the break, everyone. Stay with us.
Most people consume excess salt from processed foods, such as snack foods, processed meats, instant meals, and condiments.
Instead, use fresh vegetables, ground provision, fresh meats, and natural herb seasonings, just like our grandparents did, and just like you did with this soup. We are salt smart.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
Veggies for dinner. Let me just check the amount of sodium in this can. Oh no, this is too much. Let me try our next option. They did say it's healthy to consume less salt. This is much better. I am salt smart.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. It's Women's History Month. This is the month, where we reflect on the often overlooked contributions of women in the world. In this month, we celebrate how women's efforts and bravery afforded them the opportunity and freedoms they have today. In speaking of that, today we will be discussing some of the freedoms that we weren't afforded as women until recent years.
Yeah. So we're going to discuss that, starting with the right to vote.
I think that was probably the theme for last year's Women's Month.
Right to vote.
Yeah, the right to vote. The ensuring that it continues. Because I didn't delve into it too deep. So I'm not sure. But then in some countries, women are not allowed to vote still.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, in those ones in Far East.
So how do you feel being a woman and having the right to vote? I know it's something that you were born with, right? So yeah. like a boss.
Like a boss.
Guys, this is a boss lady sitting next to me.
Boss lady right here. Imagine us not having a right on who we choose to lead us. And we are the government, technically. We just don't want the hard work. So we elect the officials to do that for us. But imagine women not having a say.
Yeah, it's a strange world.
But I think most of the votes, if they were to be that technical and to delve in, it would be women.
That would be interesting to find out if we have those stats. So we look into that, particularly in our circles. All right, we're talking about other things that women were not able to do in the past, and this is number 2 on that list: divorce.
I cannot believe that. So if I wanted to leave, only he has the decision when I leave?
I suppose. And in some cases, you wouldn't leave at all.
Not right.
Interesting.
I shouldn't be punished for your mistake.
The joke in there is that you were willing to commit to the mistake that you now want to correct. This is the interesting part.
Yeah, but that is before all the other things reared their heads.
I agree. Because there are things that happen sometimes that we don't know about. And I guess historically women have been afraid to speak because they felt that their voices would not have been heard.
Yeah.
So the right to divorce is one such right that says that we are equal on this playing field.
Equal.
Oh, Kortensia, you get the next one, please. You're
to
in violation, by the way.
wear
Kortensia's in violation right now, right? Because she's wearing pants.
We can wear pants now. Imagine that.
Wow.
Imagine I'm out in the wind and I can just stand with my 2 hands at my side. Back then I have to be like, because it's just blowing all over the place.
These are things that we take for granted, though, and we don't understand, unless we delve back into history a little bit, we wouldn't understand really that there were people who actually fought for these things that we think are trivial.
Yep.
All right, the right to wear pants.
Yep. Because in 1980, that's when I think the Women's History Project was founded in California by 6 women. And I'm not sure of the month, because it didn't present itself, but then that same year in February, same 1980, President Jimmy Carter announced that from the 2nd to the 8th of March will be designated as Women's History Week. And after that, we just got a whole month.
There's a movement. Yeah, you've taken. This is a story. You give an inch, you
taking a whole yard.
No,
we
that's
taking
fine.
it.
That's fine.
Join the military. Imagine that. We were in the military back then, but we were just nurses, weren't we?
I suppose. I need to do my research.
Or maybe we weren't in the military, we were just nurses.
Well, then technically you weren't, right? So yeah, we see that picture of all males there. Women were not allowed to join the military, I guess traditionally, because it was felt that fighting was a man's job.
Yeah.
That the case?
No, we can fight better than y'all.
Drew, I don't know. It's a competition. We're balancing, right?
Listen,
so everybody does.
Imagine there's a war and there's a woman in the midst of the war, and she just breaks it down and they have a whole therapy session, and everybody just like, yeah, we want to go home.
There's a therapy session.
And she has a therapy session, and then the fellas just be like, yeah, we want to go home to our wives now. We're done with this war.
Therapy session.
Both sides just agree and just go home.
All right, based on what you're saying.
Because the woman is in the middle pouring out the emotions or getting the fellas to tap in. And they decide, we don't got a war, let's go home.
Based on what you're saying, my eyes are going to be locked on the EU and the Ukraine-Russia situation. Based on what you just said.
We need a lady to go out there. We need to get them to talk.
So, keeping the maiden name. This is somewhat of a contentious issue for many. I don't know why it is that way, but if you get married as a woman, the expectation, I guess, traditionally has been that you have to take the name of your husband. Yeah. And I do remember having that discussion with a woman who was married for many, many years, an older woman. And it was in reference to a friend of mine who had not taken the name of her husband. At least she didn't officially do that. And she's like, no, you have to take the name of your husband. And I thought, where are we? With all due respect here, which era are we? You are individuals, you do what you want. Just because you don't take the name does not negate the fact that you were married.
But the older folks would say, when you don't take the name, you're not in full submission. But then now, with people getting certified and having certifications before they were married, it's a whole process. You have to go through the university. So it's better, no offense, I know I'm mistress, whatever. So I'm mistress, I'm still miss, whatever, but that hyphen says I'm your wife now.
You
So then
hyphenated
it shouldn't be a big thing.
No, I don't think it should.
Yeah, they should be allowed to keep their name if they want to. And if they don't want to change it, so be it. They're still the wife of the guy. They did say I do.
Oh, that might be a deal breaker for some.
Yeah.
You never know that.
Yeah.
Sad but true.
What? We couldn't own property if we weren't married? Why? We work for money too?
As if we're married. So you can own property if you were married? Really? So that property effectively would be.
That's what I'm saying. So if
the
we weren't
husband's.
married, we couldn't own.
No, that's not what it says. It says own property if you were married, which means that as a married woman, the property that you technically would own wouldn't be yours, it would be your husband's.
Really?
Yes.
No, you can't meet me with this. It can't work.
But then you can own that. You get what I'm saying. So one name on it is enough. It's like,
Ladies, thank you for the fight. Thank you.
oh, number 7. I'm loving I'm loving this one. I gotta say. For all those of you who max out credit cards, this one is going to be, women couldn't shop without an escort.
Why do we need an
Different
escort?
kind of escort, but I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Yeah, we need an escort. Hold these bags.
That's
Thanks.
what, well, I suppose for protection.
Hold these bags.
The other thing came to mind would be like, no, don't use that card. No, you're up to your limit. No, don't buy those shoes. No,
I don't want
go to that
Jimmy.
store.
Thank God I don't shop, because if I used to shop, I won't want you as my escort.
Shop
That means
till you
I wouldn't
drop.
buy anything.
Shop till you drop, Kortensia. Shop till you drop.
Yeah, there was a march, I think, the first International Women's Day in 1908, I think. There was a march in New York City where they were fighting for equal pay, equal working hours, and all
Really?
of that. So yeah, fair working hours.
Fair working hours. Interesting.
So were we working longer or shorter?
Seems like it was shorter. By virtue
See?
of the fact that you were women,
Yeah.
or are women, and then probably making less because of it. So,
See?
yeah.
And open
Equal
all
work,
jobs.
equal pay.
All jobs. Yeah.
Yeah. Things that we take for granted, those daycare centers that are open now.
Serving a jury, I don't mind. I don't want, no. Don't hear me. I don't want to go to no court. No.
All right.
So that could work for
Kortensia
me.
for jury duty. Just one of those things you have to take off your bucket list.
No.
Yes. So you couldn't do that if you were a woman.
Wow.
As if the opinions of women were not, as important.
Needed.
You see that, exactly. So we've come a long way, Kortensia.
I know.
We have.
Thank you, women.
Can I have your passport?
No. Have their own passport if they were married? You mean the husband holding the passport in his hand, or
You
I
didn't
just
need
can't have
the
a passport, period?
No,
so I'm not
because
flying anywhere? I'm not going on vacations?
You're not going without your husband. I think that's the point of it. No solo travel.
No, but we couldn't use one passport back then. This is like we're not going anywhere.
Have their own passport if they were married. Wow.
Thank God Neve is nice, because it's right over there we're going. Nah, man. Nah.
What?
Imagine when teachers get pregnant, if they weren't married, they had to quit their job. Even in my job, you couldn't get pregnant until my previous job. You couldn't get pregnant until you would have passed a year probation, until they eventually banned it.
Wow, they're dictating when you get pregnant.
Yeah.
The work dictates that. You want to dictate what we eat
And
for
this
breakfast?
is most recent, huh? This is most recent because one of the girls from the class before me, she joined in 2008. She got pregnant in less than a year and she was asked to leave. But now it's different. So at least 2 of them had to be examples. One got back her job in the olden days because people fought, but nobody fought for this one. But I guess she was the example that broke the barrier now, that if you come online and you get pregnant, you leave people alone. But they were asking for 1 free year without pregnancy. Yeah.
You guys have been through a lot.
Yeah, we have. But we are happy that we are breaking the bias and we're moving towards gender equality to have a more sustainable world. I won't even say just society, but a more sustainable world. And hopefully our sisters in the outer world that still are trodden down, eventually they can rise up and have the same equality like us out here. Yeah.
Great word from Kortensia.
Great word indeed. So women, you gotta keep fighting. The fight's not over. Audience, stick and stay. We will be right back.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Most people consume excess salt from processed foods, such as snack foods, processed meats, instant meals, and condiments.
Instead, use fresh vegetables, ground provision, fresh meats, and natural herb seasonings, just like our grandparents did, and just like you did with this soup. We are salt smart.
It's been 6 months now and Glenn hasn't been working. His attitude has completely changed and he's been leaving the house every day for hours and liming with his friends and coming home drunk and causing confusion.
Gloria, this is what you cook today? This is not enough food for a big man like me.
But Glenn, it's been 6 months now. You haven't given me any money to shop for food.
Okay, so what you want me to do if my boss ain't call me out for work as yet?
Look for a different job now.
What you just said to me?
Get a next job.
What?
Help! Let me
Let
go!
go what? Yeah, let's see what we like. Let go what? Watch your mouth with me now.
The weekend mom and dad fight. When are they going to stop?
Domestic violence is not just physical, it's mental, emotional, economical, and psychological. If you, your friend or family member is being abused, you can contact one of the numbers listed below for help. Department of Gender Affairs 662-5492, Special Victims Unit 662-7077, Counseling Unit 465-5000. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the Pan American Health Organization.
Bless up, Dejo here, and I'm doing my part in the fight against COVID-19 by following all safety protocols and most importantly, rolling up my sleeve for the vaccine. So I'm encouraging you to do the same because that's our best shot of protecting ourselves, our family, and our friends. So don't wait, vaccinate. Let's roll up to roll out.
Yeah. I know we can make it. It's only just a phase. Once we're vaccinated, and everybody gonna be safe. Everybody gonna be one safe. Kind, yeah. One people. We are roll up to roll out, yeah. Cause no man's alone, do what's right. Alright, cause I love you, brother, my sister. And we're in this together, my sister, my brother. I don't wanna lose you. I love you too much. I think it's better for us, yeah, yeah. It's better for us. Hey, I don't wanna lose you. I love you too much, yeah, yeah. It's better for us. Tell your mommy to roll up to roll out.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Good morning, this is Carol from Lux Carnival, and I listen to Good Morning SKN.
And we are back with the final segment here on Good Morning SKN. It's What's Happening. Gotta give you my dog voice for this one, all right? I'm gonna do that one more time. And you know why I'm doing that? Because it's Paint Your Pet with the lovely Miss Sue. She'll be hosting her next Paint Your Pet event tomorrow. So that'll be Wednesday, the 16th of March at Michael's Burger starting at 5 p.m. To reserve your space, message her on Facebook at Paint and Party with Miss Sue. So in order to participate, you will need to send Miss Sue a picture of your pet, not your human pet, but your actual animal pet. She will draw your pet on the canvas and help you to paint it at the event. To participate, there is a cost of EC $135, which should be paid through JAD. Yep, you pay that through JAD. The pre-dawn canvas and all art pre-dawn. What did I say? Pre-dawn?
Yeah,
pre-dawn canvas. I love that. The pre-dawn canvas. Hashtag pre-dawn canvas. Thank you very much. Might need some glasses now. The pre-drawn canvas, all art supplies, and glass of wine are included, and you might still have a chance to participate. So message Miss Sue now. Don't wait till dawn.
Yeah, and we move on to our second event that's happening, Taking Action for a Changed Life. Celebrate Recovery, a biblical and balanced program, will be hosting a Taking Action for Change Life seminar tonight at 7 p.m. There will be a special guest from Tennessee, USA. The event is free dinner. Wow, the event is free admission. Yeah, free, and then free dinner. And everyone is welcome, so go on out. The event will take place at the Job Ward Outreach Center in the Lower Shadwell community. Don't miss it. Celebrate recovery. We will help you to take action and overcome your hurts, hang-ups, and habits. Are we going? Free dinner.
Free dinner. It depends on whether or not I get to iron my clothes because there's power outage, right? So the St. Kitts Electricity Company Limited will be having scheduled maintenance outages today. The scheduled maintenance outages are necessary to perform maintenance as a part of Scalec's ongoing efforts to improve reliability. Today's outages will affect the Frigate Bay Strip from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and the Sandy Point Main Road from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So there's some power outages. I guess you'll have enough time to get ready if you're not in those areas and go out and get your free dinner.
But what if I want my food from the strip today? 9 and 11, isn't that normally cook time?
Generator.
Will my food be ready at 12? What if they don't have a generator? Let's go down. What if they don't
This is where you learn to cook. I don't know. You learn to cook and take your lunch, right? Yeah, take your lunch. Look at her. She's already thinking about lunch, and it's still morning, guys. It's still morning. You know what I mean? Kortensia.
Think about what's next in life.
This is not Friday. We don't have any more muffins today to give you, right? So we apologize for that, but hey, we'll work something out.
Muffins, cookies, those VCOs.
There's a VCOs. But we have to look forward to. Did I just hear a little dog? I swear I heard a dog. Did you hear it? No, we don't have any dogs in the studio either. Okay.
No Marlies, no Blondie.
Oh boy.
No
Blondie.
Oh my God.
Blondie, my Blondie. I took a picture with Blondie.
No Cookie.
Oh, that's so
we have
cool.
no dogs.
No dogs. Just the humankind.
Yeah.
Checking for fleas right now. All right. That being said.
So, what was your favorite parts of the show today?
The show. All of it. All of it was good. Yeah. Love it. Waking up, saying good morning, SKN.
Being
like
grateful
we do.
that we woke up.
Yeah. That's a good part. Yeah.
Yeah. That we have a roof over our head.
Yeah, and I woke up pre-dawn too.
Yeah, pre-dawn. You woke up pre-dawn, but then again, you can wake up and be pre-drawn. Look at that.
Yeah, but I'll have to be a pet for that. Oh boy, here we go. The humankind. All right.
Then we have Caroline still wearing a piece.
Yes,
Thank
lovely
you,
piece by Caroline, indeed.
Indeed, so we know that she uses local items that are recycled, so she turns them into all forms of jewelry.
I'm just here in my mind wondering, I know people sing for their supper. Are you singing for another piece of jewelry? So you're like, thank you, Caroline. I don't know. What's up? Is that why?
Why? So everything that she makes is locally sourced. Right? So go and check on Caroline. And if you're interested in doing a class as well, as she said, you hit her up on all her social media and you guys sort out your classes together, or you can find her at Shipwreck almost every day of the week.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then Delwyn came.
Yes, sports.
About keeping her in fitness.
I swear to you, I need some props up here right now. I mean, can you imagine, right? We've had volleyballs here. We haven't had basketball here. We didn't have We had tennis rackets. Yes.
Yes.
I did that tennis racket thing. So these sporting segments are really good.
Yeah.
The next thing that we're going to do is that we're going to play table tennis right here.
Or hand tennis. We could get back to what we used to do.
Yeah, we're just going to make sure to, proof the equipment so that, you guys can continue to watch us.
Yeah.
Because I don't trust Kortensia's skills.
Oh my gosh. And make sure the balls doesn't go all over the floor so anybody wouldn't fall,
Oh, we're falling here. No need to fall in the studio today at all. Please don't fall. I'm rhyming and all, right? But no falls. On that note, I want to thank you for joining us today. Yeah, it's always crazy here, Corp. You never know what you're going to get, right?
Yep.
So you just have to watch to find out. Remember to follow us on our social media platforms, including Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok. Yeah, we're even on TikTok. Imagine that. So, Studio 327 Inc. Again, at Studio 327 Inc. That's our handle. So you're going to like, you're going to subscribe, and you're going to follow us.
So you can get more content.
Yeah.
So you will leave us a comment and tell us what topics and guests you would like to see next. And of course, we can say see you tomorrow.
Oh yeah, because it's
Hump
not Friday.
Day.
Tomorrow's Hump Day?
Yeah, over the hump.
I'm thinking about a camel, but anyway, okay, if you say that. I tried Monday, or what did I say? Monday. Monday apparently is not a thing, guys. So,
no, neither is TGIM.
Oh, yeah. Nah, Monday, no TGIM. But apparently Hump Day is a thing.
Hump Day is a thing for sure.
We'll help you get over the hump tomorrow when you start your mornings with us right here on Good Morning SKN. Bye-bye.